Hey, yo, we are running down the stairs, getting to the recording space.
Welcome back.
Welcome
to
back.
Our second episode.
Episode 2 of Bit Movies.
We are running late on time, so we've decided we'll start while we're running, which is why I'm sure there's whooshing wind going by.
Exactly. We actually decided to do our jobs for once. It's shocking, I know. We are about to enter the recording space.
Yes, that's right. We have a studio.
We have a very large studio. I think this is the biggest recording studio ever.
I think that is true, yes. You could fit at least 1,000 people in the studio.
I think you could. Very close together.
We should definitely make a 1,000-person podcast.
Yes, we should make a 1,000-person podcast. I'm on that side. You're on that side. Yeah, we need to make sure the sides are right. Definitely.
We wouldn't want the listeners confused.
We wouldn't want the listeners confused. The people who listen with true left ear, right ear, capabilities.
I don't think that we do have quite that level of record.
I forgot the book. I'll be back.
He forgot a book.
I'll be right back. It is part of the podcast. Isaac, entertain our audience.
I'll be back for a while. I'm going to pause the recording.
You can if you want. It's up to you.
He's running. I simply am not interesting enough to keep people engaged for such a long time. He's gone. We have popcorn sitting on our couch. We had to lift it out. Wow, that was strange. The recording just stopped. Too early. He's running. He's coming. I'm still going. No, the thing is, you got a notification and it stopped recording.
Okay, what did I get a notification from?
I'm not sure. Your phone vibrated. I wasn't paying attention.
Stop the recording? Odd. Okay. What you need to know is, I just scoffed down a big bowl of pasta in 2 minutes, and I ran that entire way. Did not stop. Ran all the way up, all the way back down.
That is quite a far way to go.
Yeah. I'm not as fit as I used to be. Need to start getting back into it, but it's a good start. I'm not feeling that bad. I'm just didn't regulate my breathing as I should have.
He's now very, very out of breath. I'm sure you can hear it.
Yes, but I don't feel tired.
His forehead glistening with sweat.
Very glistening, but it means I should be okay to start doing runs and stuff again. Anyway, so
it's surprising that you haven't gotten into runs during quarantine, unlike everyone else.
I was working, so when the run craze started, still had both my jobs. Then I had one job, and but I was working like 5 days a week, 6 days a week. And then by the time everything started to lax is when second job we're back again, and my other job I got less hours. So haven't really had the time.
I think the time to buy workout equipment will be in a couple of months after quarantine is lifted, because everybody has been buying exercise equipment in quarantine, and everyone will realize that they no longer want to exercise when they have their lives going on. And everyone's going to be selling it. It'll be very cheap.
Very cheap. My sister keeps, I live with my sister. She keeps stealing my dumbbell. So she keeps going, oh yeah, it's shared, we can share it. Fun fact, put it in my room, because it's mine, and I didn't really agree to the sharing properly. She took it, and she leaves it in her room. So I've taken it back. And I can't wait to get home for her to get angry that I went in her room and took it, when she won't leave it in a shared communal space like we agreed. And the thing is, she put it in her room the other day. It's been in the same spot for 2 days. So she hasn't used it. She keeps taking it. So
she just wants to have it.
She wants to have it, and she doesn't want to share it. She wants it to be hers, because, that's what she does. But I'm just going to hide it. And Emily, if you're listening to this, you won't find it. You will never find it. I am hiding it.
Emily,
you can get your own.
I believe in you. You can find it.
She can't. Because they couldn't find the cookies. Won't find the dumbbell. I had to hide my cookies.
Anyway, a continuation of last week's topic. Small yogurt.
Oh, yes. Yakult.
Yakults. There we go. I couldn't even remember the name of them.
You never really had them?
I never really had them. I had it.
I had one the other week.
Yeah. So
you liked it?
Yeah, Lachlan bought a 6-pack of them.
10-pack.
10-pack.
Yeah,
he bought a
family
lot.
pack.
And I had one. And it tasted interesting. It reminded me of the watery layer on top of Greek yogurt.
I wrote that down.
Plus, with extra sweetness to it.
Yeah, she said with sugar.
Yeah, it's definitely not bitter. It's sweet. It's yogurt adjacent. I think good, but still an odd flavor. Yes. I don't think I would go out of my way to drink it, simply because I don't go out of my way to drink the watery pre-cum on top of
Greek yogurt.
You
mix that in.
Yeah.
So it's like you would put Yakult in something else.
I think Yakult. Yeah, I think that would work.
You would put it in as a milk substitute to a smoothie.
They're so small.
That's what I'm really annoyed about. I'm like, I would love a Yakult that tastes the exact same, has the same level of probiotics, but it's like spread out within the substance. So like I could have a big like 385 ml bottle, like a Coke bottle of Yakult.
I think the reason why they are small is because they are an odd flavor. And I'm not sure if I could drink that much.
Like I said last time, put 10 in one, and you got it for 10 days. You're good for 10 days. I've done that. I have done that before. A couple months back, I just put 10 in a cup and I drank it. Loved it. Would do it again. But genuinely, you will fuck yourself up if you do that every day. So like, it's a little. You can have 10 Yakults as a treat. Everyone as a treat. Every
Occasionally.
Once in a while. Occasionally.
Did they last you 10 days? The 10 you just bought, or?
I still actually. They have lasted me longer than 10 days because I forgot they were in my mini fridge. Ooh. And I peeked in last night. I was, there's some Yakults. And then I had one. I had one
as a treat?
As a treat. And I will forget again. And then I'll find them again. And I'll keep doing that. It'll be a cycle. It'll be a process. So yeah, I haven't had my Inner Health Plus today. So that's a shame.
Oh, kid. I just want to take a moment to appreciate early 2000s kids' Australian TV programming.
Oh, okay. Which one?
Bing and Bong.
Bing and Bong.
Similar to
Like
what we're
Bing
doing
and
now.
Bop.
Two individuals sitting on a couch traveling the universe.
Exactly. One was a big boy. One was it was a big like Yeti dude with like pretty sure they had no mouth.
Yeah, they were odd.
They were odd. And then it was like a little white fur ball, like a Furby without ears, but he had a big mouth.
He had a very big mouth, like half his face was mouth.
Half his face was mouth. And he was like, it was just legs. Have you seen, oh God. I don't want to mention it because it'll go through our bit movies time. So, okay, quick mention. We won't stream it. We can stream it next week as my bit movies bit because you have a bit movies bit.
I've got a bit movies
I just want to. Have you seen Small Soldiers? The one where the.
Oh, I am aware of Small Soldiers. Yes, I have seen
Cross is in
Small
it.
Soldiers.
And it's Kirsten Dunst, and it is these army munitions chips gets put in these kids' toys, and they come to life, and then they try to like the good guys, which are American soldiers, try to kill these aliens, which is I think a really good metaphor because the American soldiers are the bad guys, and the aliens are really nice and just trying to live their life.
Wow, that says a lot about society.
And it was made in the 90s, and so and nobody ever saw it because America was like, this is anti-America, let's destroy it. And I'm pretty sure the kid who was the main character never worked again in his life. Because that's what happened to kids in the 90s.
I'd employ him.
Yeah, I think you said unemploy him, and I was like, they already did. I'd employ him. I'll put him on. If you were listening to this, I will find out your name. The actor who played the main guy, can't remember the character's name, on Small Soldiers, I really loved you. I thought you were genuinely great. Don't think I've seen you in anything. If you want to be in the podcast, hit us up. We would love to have you on the podcast. We will Zoom you in, we'll Skype you in, whatever we have to do, we'll fly you in, we'll pay for the tickets. Come on the podcast. We'd love to have you here. But that is... it reminds me. There's one character in the Gormagons, I think it's called, the good guys, and he's just
rings bell.
He's a ball with legs. Well, he's a just a mouth with legs, and it just reminded me of that. Okay, that's my bit movies bit. We're done on that.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yes, because also
week's
TV shows don't count. They're not movies. They're categorically different. So we can talk about TV shows as much as we want.
Okay.
I would say. Do you agree?
Oh, I think so, yes.
You put TV shows and movies into different categories. There are movies and the TV show. They're two separate things.
I think that TV shows are becoming long movies. I think that...
You have miniseries and they're like technically TV shows, but they are the same.
TV shows have evolved from what they used to be, and they're a lot less serialized.
We still do have serialized and like standard comedies, and that's fine because it's like, well, also it's still happening today. Like English, like Sherlock, they're like an hour and a half each. They're movie level long
pretty
each,
much
but they're still considered a TV show. So I feel like it gypsum. But Bing and Bong, would you count Bing and Bong as a movie?
Bing and Bong is not a movie.
Bing and Bong is not a movie, so I'm going to say we will have to tread with caution depending on the actual subject matter that we're talking about. But I would say overall, TV shows are not movies. We can waffle on about TV shows as much as we like, and it does not dip into bit movies time at all.
Here's a question then: what are documentaries?
Documentaries, I would say depends on if it's a docu-series or a single documentary. And again, I guess movies have a... Because that brings up another question. Short films. They're called films. They're films, which is another word.
Movies, right?
But a film is another word for a movie. Like you have Toronto International Film Festival, and movies are played there, but they're films.
Movies are a film. Films aren't movies.
Aren't necessarily movies, but it's a short film. So do we count short films as movies? Again, that's a treading on territory. I'm going to say, short films and movies. Documentaries depend on if they're a single documentary or if they're a docu-series.
Okay, so what if, let's say there was a hypothetical docu-series, but they only ever released one of them. It was 2 hours long, so it's the length of a movie. There were meant to be more, but they only made one.
Well, if there were meant to be more, I think it gets recategorized then as a movie. It has to be existing. That would be like saying, oh yeah, so we're going to make a trilogy. Only released one. You still got to consider it a trilogy, though. No, it doesn't work like that. Just because it was meant to be a docuseries, but only one was released. That I feel like counts as a documentary, and it's a movie.
What about a single half-hour standalone documentary?
I would say a single half hour. Again, if we're counting short films as movies, I would count a single documentary, even if it's half hour long, as a movie. It's just a shorter movie because there are movies like. Again, what are movies count as time? Because I remember I watched a animated movie when I was a kid. It was a claymation. I thought it was going to be really fun. It was really dark, and I was like, "What the fuck was this?" I got it from. It was called the Friendly Grocer, I think, at the time, or it was the local grocery store, and they had movies there. And we always went, and we always got some. It was like okay, somebody's gonna know this. I can't remember the name. I think it was like Harvey Crumpet. Yes, it was Harvey Crumpet. And it was like it was 58 minutes long. I remember because I was like, this is less than an hour. What's going on here? And it was really dark. And watching it again as an adult, fantastic. But as a kid, no. But that was less than an hour. Still a movie, technically. So I would count and this isn't counting into our bit movies time. We're just discussing them. We're not discussing a specific movie. So this isn't bit movies. This is part of the podcast. Which bit movies is part of the podcast. I'm waffling, and which I'm allowed to because it's my podcast. So anybody who says our podcast, anybody who says otherwise can shut up. So I would count a single standalone documentary at half an hour as a movie.
As a movie.
As a movie.
Phenomenal.
And I think you wanted to talk about some documentaries.
I did want to. I wanted to talk about nature documentaries, not necessarily a specific one, but just in general, nature documentaries.
Just want to make sure it's still recording. We're good, yep. Go.
And David Attenborough.
Sir
David Attenborough.
Yeah, so do not disrespect.
A phenomenal voice in nature documentaries. And I think... Now, I wanted to watch some nature documentaries with some of my housemates the other day. We decided nature documentaries is what we needed. Maybe something about fish. And so we were looking through them, and something occurred to me, which is I won't watch a nature documentary unless Sir David Attenborough is narrating it.
Okay.
And I'm not sure where I've gotten this, but for some reason, I think he adds so much to them.
There's passion. He has so much passion
He has
behind
passion,
them.
and I think also... Because I know he's involved in filming. He's involved in a lot more than just narrating.
Yeah, he actually gets in there.
The issues I can have with other documentaries is they have a narrator, but the narrator simply narrates.
Yeah, they hire somebody who has a name or a voice, and they go, hey, just say these words.
Yeah, and so David Attenborough has the name, he has the voice, and he has the passion. And you know that he's involved, and he just speaks with such authority on these things because he's been doing it for so long.
Because he does have an authority because he learns and he studies.
Definitely.
Because I would say I agree. Like my favorites would have to be like David Attenborough documentaries, but I can definitely watch other ones. Before I moved out at my old place, my roommates and I were just lounging around one day and we were watching some series. I think it was on Prime. And it was like draining the oceans or something. And they kept every time. So there was like the first one was about this. Secret, like a Nazi ship that had like heavy water and was transporting heavy water for weapons, but it sunk. And there was like the conspiracy that it was like sunk on purpose and everything. And it's been under this, in Switzerland or something, under the water there. But every time he'll go, but now with today's technology, we can drain the oceans. And they like animate all the oceans draining. And it was the funniest fucking thing. But genuinely very interesting. But I would agree. If David Attenborough was there, he'd be diving, he'd be draining the oceans himself. He'd be sucking it out with a straw and he'd be like kicking it out.
See, now I think I'd be fine with another narrator, simply because I think David Attenborough is important for nature documentaries.
Nature, okay.
Not others. Like scientific documentaries, I think you can definitely have other people.
Okay, so you're just saying for you, David Attenborough only for nature.
He is the nature man.
He is the nature
king.
Man. Yeah, he is the nature king. I vibe that. I can respect that. Yeah. And you know what else I can respect?
What?
Getting paid.
Getting paid is good.
If you guys didn't know, we are not getting paid, but we have been asked to do a couple ad reads. And we are professional podcasters now, so we do actually have ad reads.
We are getting paid for this.
We are getting paid something.
Can you believe it? After one episode, and we already have sponsors.
One episode that isn't actually released while we're recording this, that is currently being uploaded.
So good. I'm sure it will get at least 2 views, which
by
will be
us.
both of us.
Yeah, which we made the same joke last time about the 2 viewers, 2 listeners being us. So this is just a little ad read. You've heard of HelloFresh. Now say hello, wink, they told me to say wink, to Goodbye Rotten. That's right, for just $83.22 a month, we will break into your house and rob you. You can experience real-life home invasion for the low cost of years of therapy and your shitty decorative pillows. We have hired expert thieves who every month put love and effort into elaborate heists designed to make you trust never make you trust your next food delivery driver. Every month will be a new experience, so make sure to buy some shit for us to steal. Head to www.goodbyerotten.gov and enter promo code BITMOVIES. That's BITMOVIES. I forgot our own how to spell our own podcast for a second. For $20 on your first order. That's right, $20 on your first order. You can pay $20 extra for your first order with promo code BITMOVIES.
What a fucking deal.
What a deal. So head on over www.goodbyerotten.gov and enter promo code BITMOVIE. That's BIT.
government
It is a
organization?
government-run organization.
Which government? The fact that it's .gov makes it sound like US government.
It does sound like the US government. I'm legally not allowed to say which government it is, but it is a
one
government.
of them.
It is one of them. They govern something. Even I don't know, but I have just purchased my first month of Goodbye Rotten, and was that a message that said something?
It is a message from our manager telling us to stop recording because we need to go home.
Well, no, she said 10 past, so we're going to give it an extra 4 minutes. Still, it's 5 past because it's now 9:01.
Yes.
We're going to get this couch back in. We're going to pause. We're going to continue this in the car.
In the car?
In the car.
Phenomenal.
We're going from the studio, and we're driving to Fans, and we're going to be dropping off some little
treats.
frozen treats. But,
Frozen treats for all of you.
I feel like did you get paid by somebody to talk about something at all?
I did.
You did.
However, that is for another time.
We're going to do it. Okay.
Perhaps in a car.
Oh. Chuffed about
That being said, this company reminds me of a story that I recently heard that I think you will enjoy quite a lot.
Go on. We got 4 minutes.
There was a man, and he had a thing for home invasions, a sexual thing for home invasions.
Of course, I would love this story.
Okay.
Yes.
And he paid 3 other men to break into his home. And see, the news article said, rub him with a broom. However, I think they were also going to do other things with that broom. Yes. Anyway, he paid these 3 men to come into his house, restrain him, and have a good time.
Have a good time.
He paid them in advance. It was a decent amount of money as well. However, he forgot to disclose to them the fact that he was moving house. So they broke into this house, the address he gave them. However, he no longer lived there.
Oh, no.
And they realized that because no one was home, and they left. And they didn't know what to do, because imagine this, you've broken into a home expecting the person who you're breaking into it to have consented to this, and it's some random home. Do you tell the police, hi, I just broke into a house, but don't worry, it was on purpose?
I was paid to do it.
What a
and nobody
sticky
was home.
situation to be in.
Well, I feel like you just leave. Like, why would you tell the police anything at all?
But I think they may have violently broken into this home, so they may have broken something.
Yes, but I feel like at some point, somebody's going to come up, like the real estate agent or something, somebody's going to notice it and report it, because nobody's like, say they leave, right? And then real like, robbers come in. They're going to come into the home choking on popcorn. I did this last time. They come in. The new robbers aren't going to be able to steal anything because it's empty. So like, it doesn't matter if it's broken into, because somebody's going to come around, notice it, and get it fixed.
Okay, imagine this then. You are a law enforcement officer, and...
Oh no.
Oh no.
I don't want to imagine that, but go on.
And someone has come to you and said, hi, my house has been broken into. You investigate and you discover the people who have broken into the home, and you confront them and you say, hi, you broke into this person's house. We have video footage of you breaking into this person's house.
Yep.
And they say to you, do not worry about that. We were paid by this other man to break into the house.
Okay, so this is still like, so somebody's moved into the new house?
Someone has moved into the house.
But the contract is still on the other guy.
On the other guy, yes.
That's why, okay, so that you're fucked. You are fucked. And that was, so like, because in any normal, I'm going to say in any normal circumstance, this wouldn't be happening. But like, there's stuff like this you can get contracts for this, like financial DOMs and everything.
They did have a contract.
So like, as long as a contract is signed, that's fine. But like, miscommunication was had, and I feel like you have broken into this place, and if somebody else did live there, they can file charges against you. But then I believe that you can countersue for the misinformation to the other person,
I think
bringing
that
in the contract.
the one who wanted to be groomed is at fault. here.
He's definitely at fault for giving misinformation. You are semi at fault for breaking and entering, but you could possibly, I would say, shift the blame due to miscommunication or misconduct on the other person. Because, like anybody, as long as you sign a contract, I would feel like the only thing that would stopping somebody breaking into your home contractually breaking into your home would be if you didn't own the place yourself and were like renting and you had an issue with like damaged property there, which also a lot of places you can rent and if you damage it, you just repair it. You pay for repair. Like there's so much law, depends on what country you're in. But I feel like you could bring up the contract and you could pass that blame on to the other person. So thankfully, nobody was broken and nobody was in there. But if nobody was in there, I would say, actually, I would fucking go. I would talk to the guy and be like, look, do you want to try this again with the right address? But then I would say nothing about the other place. Yeah. Okay. And we're going to pause right now.
We are not lawyers, so if you do break into someone's house intending to have intercourse with them and it is the wrong house...
And it's consensual and signed for, not breaking, yes.
Please consult a lawyer.
Please consult a lawyer. Have not your friend's brother who went to law for a bit, not my friends who are currently studying law. They're not full lawyers yet, but they're the best I have. One's being a paralegal, so they got to parachute a lot. But yes, go consult a lawyer. I feel like just to be safe, we should stop this recording, save it as an individual recording, and do a second recording once we're in the car to make sure this doesn't get corrupted or stopped in any way because I feel like knowing our luck. It will.
And we can't be funny for another 21 minutes, 20 seconds.
After all
this, we need to definitely wait a period of time in order to regain. Because
also that who knows if that was actually funny? So we may not be funny for the next 21 minutes and 20 seconds again. So we're gonna pause now. We're gonna save this recording. You guys get to hear the behind the scenes. We're gonna stop this recording specifically, save it as a separate file.
We will see you all in the future.
We'll see you all in the future. I'll make a note of it now. The first 3 episodes are gonna be weekly because of the times of recording. And then from then on, this is going to be bi-weekly, the best kind of weekly. And because of, that way we have time for scheduling conflicts and things like that. But we try to keep it up to date as possible. So, we'll be trying to do the recording at the night before release. So to keep as much up to date with, current topics in our lives as possible and see where it goes. But roughly there's going to be about maybe a week's disparagement between them. So first 3 episodes, first 3 weeks. After that, bi-weekly. Okay, so we'll be back. Love you.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We are in a car.
We're in a car. Wow, this is the first time we've recorded not in a cinema.
This is also the second episode, so we're actually 50-50 on recording in a cinema or a car.
Except that half of this episode was recorded in a cinema.
So we're 75-25.
75-25.
75-25.
Maybe this will
cinema.
move into a bit cars, and we'll talk a bit about cars. Unfortunately, I do not know more than a bit about cars.
Okay, that's fair, but that is not the point of this podcast. We're bit movies, we're not bit cars. I also don't know much about cars. Is that no, that is not my window. Fun fact, we're sitting just outside my place. No, I put my blinds down, but if you look in from the street, there's trees, but if you move past them, you can see entirely inside my room and what I'm doing.
I don't like that. I enjoy privacy.
I do enjoy, but that's why the trees are good there. You can only look in if you're purposely looking to look in. The trees block pretty much everything, and it's a very quiet area. Nobody's really looking in.
Luckily for me, my window is high enough that you can't see it.
Okay.
If you're even standing next to the house, our house it's 1 story, but there's quite a lot of
bottom.
Underneath the floor
zone. I getcha.
So if you're standing next to my room, you can't view in, which I do enjoy some privacy.
I think you mean you can't see the window. You're you're inside the room and you can't even see the window. That's the trick. There is no window.
I like having my window open because I have a cat and I've built him a little shelf and he sits on the shelf on my window. So whenever it's closed, he doesn't really enjoy sitting there. So I always leave it open for him.
That's valid. I keep it open to air out the room. I'm a sweaty boy.
Yeah, I too am a stinky boy.
I'm a boy. I get a bit sweat spaghetti sometimes, and I work a decent amount, so it's when I come home from work, I just kind of relax and I don't really do the washing. Oh, I had a load of washing that I had to put out, and I have a second load to do.
I like doing multi-day loads of washing.
Yeah, no, I do normally all my washing in one day, which I should spread it out to be able to not stink out my room as much with all the dirty clothes. But that's besides the fact. Anybody listening, I am not a stinky boy.
He's a stinky man.
I'm not a stinky man. I'm a clean boy. Very clean boy. I smell lovely. Actually, everyone tells me that I always smell great when they meet me and hug me and stuff. Not that it's happening recently, thanks to COVID. But I would just say sometimes my room gets a bit dank because, also, it's been raining a lot. So you don't have a lot of chance to open the window.
I did a load of washing on Friday and then I brought it back off the line on Monday because it's just been cold.
It's just been cold and damp.
Cold and damp.
That's my favourite game. Are you cold or are you wet to play with my washing?
Yes.
I do that all the time. Play that all the fucking time. But yeah, so like I would say it gets a bit. It's raining, so I haven't been able to open my window as much. But thankfully, this place isn't as bad as my old place. My old place got a lot of mold.
Oh, not
got
good.
a lot of mold. And so we had we called them sucky boys. They were just moisture absorbing. You know, we called things many different types of boys. These were sucky boys.
Yeah.
Had some sucky boys around. This place does not get mold, thankfully.
That's
So
good.
don't need to stress too much if it's raining and the windows aren't open. I can always open it later. I've got some nice smelling spray to put around my room if it gets a bit too dank.
I like scented candles. Scented candle, good.
Exactly. But the only thing is, it is getting to a point of cold. Like I don't really get cold or hot. Like if it gets to extremes, I will feel it definitely. But like, like what people would normally consider cold or hot, I don't really feel it, which is very lucky for me. But it does get to a cold point where my bed feels damp.
Ooh,
Like it's like I'm like lying
good.
down, like, ooh, I know it's not really damp. It's just very cold, but it also could just be a little bit of sweat that's gotten a bit damp. And I'm like, oh, I don't like
See,
this.
I have a heated blanket, which gives me the advantage in winter. If I'm gonna be on my bed, I just put it on, and my bed is nice. And
I also
cozy.
now have a heated blanket thanks to my nan. She
Brilliant
gave me one.
investment.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't mind. Like, I like being warm. I don't really feel, and because I think a heated blanket is very hot. Like, if that was how I was feeling every day, I would say it's hot.
Yeah.
But so, like, I like being warm. When I say I do like the cold. I like the cold over the warm, but I don't feel really like regular cold or warm. But I do like being warm. So, like, I have a heated blanket. And I've been using it a lot more, but I don't sleep with it on because I generate enough.
Me neither.
I don't even really have it on before I go to bed. I have it on and I take it off straight away, let myself cool down a bit because I get a bit too hot, and then I use my body heat to keep me regulated. Like I sleep completely only with underwear on. I like to keep that shit packed in. I don't get people who can sleep naked. I need to keep that shit tight. Like I need to keep it in place.
I go between the two extremes. I'm either sleeping naked or sleeping fully clothed.
I can sleep fully clothed. I just naked. I'm like I've done it before. But I prefer to sleep with underwear because I'm like, I like to keep my little noodle strapped in.
Also, if you gotta like take a shit in the middle of the night, you don't want to be looking for like clothes to go and take a shit.
Well, if it's in the middle of the night, you hope nobody else will be up also taking a shit. Like, if I walked out in the middle of the night and both my nan and I were there naked, like, well, got a shit. I would let her go first, of course.
Yeah.
And then I would walk down naked into my sister's room and shit in her bathroom, just to piss her off. But basically, yeah, no, like, you would hope nobody's also shitting.
See, I have housemates who can be up at random times.
Yeah, no, that's
and there
fair.
are a lot of us. So sometimes, like, I'll go like to the bathroom at 2 a.m, and then I'll just see someone up in the living room, and I'm like, oh, hey, someone's up.
My nan has the weirdest sleeping schedule. She'll also be up at like 2 a.m. and I'm like, goddamn. So it's like, I don't know how crude we're willing to get on this. We just did talk about sleeping naked, but like trying to find a bit of privacy in my place is a bit hard. So like, you're knocking one out, and you're like, I don't want to ruin a pair of underwear. So like I try to run there naked, but I'm like, I open the door and my nan's lights on. I'm like, fuck. So I have to cover myself up a little bit, run to the bathroom, and wash off. And there we go. But it's a bit harder in this place.
It can be hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be hard. But I did have something I want to rant about actually. I'm going to talk about Who Wants to Be a Millionaire next week. Yeah. Next time. Yeah. I did have a rant about Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. More importantly, have you ever seen the show Ghost Whisperer with Jennifer Love Hewitt?
No, I can't say I have.
I really liked it as a kid, but the one thing that really pissed me off. So she can talk to ghosts, right? That's her whole
just
shtick.
the premise.
That's literally the premise. She is a ghost whisperer. It's in the name. If you didn't get it, you're an idiot. So she's a ghost whisperer. She talks to ghosts, and she helps them move on. And a lot of the episode, like every episode, I'm pretty sure, revolves around her talking to other people for the ghosts. And here is my gripe. And it came up with talking to a coworker tonight who was messaging another person I knew, and they were paraphrasing for me. And I was like, that's not what I said. If I tell you to say something, you say exactly what I say. I choose my words carefully. And I mean them with intent and malice. And I want those words to be said. And so I don't like being paraphrased. In Ghost Whisperer, she paraphrases every ghost. They'll be talking, they'll be like, tell them that I love them and that when I died, I was only thinking of them. And she'll be like, they loved you. And I was like, that's not what they said. And she paraphrases all the time. And it really gets my goat. Because I'm like, if I was a ghost.
Write it down.
If I was a ghost, right? And it's like, this is my final moment. I'm about to be moving on. This is the final. I want to be heard exactly what I said. I don't want to be paraphrased. You
don't want what message you could be saying to be misinterpreted.
Exactly. I don't want Jennifer motherfucker. And every time she says, she's always like so like sorry and like, you know, like really empathetic. And it's like, I was like, just man, yell at a bitch or something. Like, it's just like, this motherfucker wants you to know. Like, I would be that kind of ghost whisperer. I'd be like, I got shit on tonight, so Johnny wants you to know. And the thing is, I would say exactly what they wanted to say. I would be like, I would have a list and I'd read it out. I'd be like, yeah, Johnny wanted you to know that, blah, 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 blah. All exactly how they wanted to say it, but I'll get shit done. I'll get it to the point and I'll say it right and I'll get the fuck out. Jennifer Love Hewitt is always empathetic and just really like, but paraphrases, and it gets my goat every fucking time.
So basically what you're saying is you'd be a better ghost
oh
paraphrasing
my god.
what you've been saying.
Paraphrasing. Paraphrasing. I can paraphrase myself. I will say paraphrasing what I'm saying. I would be a much better ghost whisperer than Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Any ghosts out there, if you need to communicate with people, but you don't want to talk to them directly, Lachlan is your middleman.
Hey, I am your middleman. I do hunt ghosts. I have a ghost hunting show. It is a comedy show and it's all scripted. But then I also hunt ghosts on the side. I'm a firm believer in you gotta investigate to know what you believe. So I'm very much a man of science, but I'm like, I want to find out. Also, I want there to be spooky shit. Spooky
shit is fun.
Spooky shit is fun, and I really love for ghosts to be real. I don't have anything conclusive yet.
I think skeletons are more fun than ghosts. And skeletons do exist.
And I have a skeleton. Yeah. Not a real skeleton. It's a medical skeleton. His name's Franklin. We'll bring him on the podcast one time.
Yeah, I'm sure he has some interesting things to say.
Very interesting things to say. I can whisper for him. He's a little shit. But have you? I feel like what are we on? We got a little bit of time. Bringing back to a little bit of bit movies, just because on a good spectrum, okay, not saying Ghost Whisperer is bad, but on a better spectrum of Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sigourney Weaver, The Heartbreakers. Have you ever seen it?
I have not seen The Heartbreakers. I feel like this is a recurring theme. You're bringing things up, and I simply have not seen them.
I simply have not seen them, and that is totally valid. And that's what this is a sharing experience. That is what this is about. Because for those who don't know, Isaac and I would say are very new friends. We've only known each other for about a year. I've only been working at this company that we both work at for about a year.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, it's a year this month.
Wow, it's really been that long.
It's been a year. That's insane. That's actually really insane. Like, wow, that went by fast. But like I work normally like 2 shifts a week, so we see each other, and we've been to events with each other. Very few, but some events. And but our friendship has blossomed very fast. But we still don't know a ton about each other. We still don't know what likes we share. But we vibe very much on a lot of things like music. And he's going to send me some of you. But that's just to give you a bit of context about our friendship. We, like you heard in the first episode, we randomly just decided to start this podcast, and I think it's going fantastically.
Not gonna lie, I do not remember deciding to start this podcast. It kind of just happened.
Because what I said was, we were bantering, and I said, what if I just recorded this? Ha ha ha. Yeah. Wait a minute. And then I did.
And then you just did.
And then I just did. And
sometimes you can just do things.
You can just do things. And I said, I don't know if this is like, or we said, this is probably not going to be a thing. Ha ha. And then I've missed being creative. I'm very creative. We're both very creative fellows. I've missed being creative, and I used to have another podcast that I do want to bring back. Oh, there's a spider inside your car.
Ooh, spooky.
And that's what this is what this podcast is about. Just a little bit about movies. Mostly other stuff. There's a spider in the car. That is some other stuff.
It doesn't look that bad. I think I'll just pick him up.
Let him do his thing for now.
He'll be fine.
But our friendship is very new, and I said, let's just do this. And I've really liked making this. I'm feeling it's bringing some serotonin back.
Oh, serotonin, good.
Yeah, which in 2020 we all lack. That is the premise of our friendship. Back to what I was saying about a little bit movies bit. Heartbreakers. And nobody can tell, I haven't been tested, probably have ADHD. From everything we've experienced. But Heartbreakers, so Jennifer Love Hewitt and Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver, she celebrity, like childhood celebrity crush, every time celebrity crush, in love with her. So they play a mother-daughter combo. They marry rich men, and then they scam them and get them to like, so Sigourney Weaver marries them, and then Jennifer Love Hewitt cheats them. It doesn't actually sit with them, but like sets it up, and then sort of Sigourney Weaver finds them and divorces them and gets all their money. Ooh. And so they're con people.
We could do that.
They're con us. We could do that. And it's a rom-com, so one of us would fall in love, probably with each other. Oh. Which would be a nice twist, because we're not related, which is good. And so, yeah, but basically, now I want to watch Sweet Home Alabama. Not because there's incest, but just incest reminded me of Alabama, and then Sweet Home Alabama and Reese Witherspoon, and that's a great movie.
You definitely have ADHD.
Shut up. I know, I'm just a very fast thinker. No, there's not, I probably do. There's nothing wrong with ADHD. Well, I mean, oh God, we're getting really, yeah, they probably need to correct it, but it's not like, oh my God,
This is we are not going into this right now.
Yeah, this is going to be too bad.
Maybe a future segment, we can, because I have some things I want to talk to you about related to this, but off the podcast, because I don't think people need to hear that. Maybe we can plan a segment.
I'm trying not to disparage people with ADHD while saying that it's still like an issue you can want to work on, is all I'm just saying.
But also ADHD can be fun.
It can be fun. I'm having a blast with it if I have it, which I probably do. But we're not going to keep going on that. But anyway, so it's rom-com. It's also got the guy who plays Earl from My Name is Earl. But Sigourney Weaver looks amazing. They all look amazing. It's a very fun movie. I haven't been able to find it on any streaming services. I think I tried to see if it was on Google Play, and I couldn't buy it. So I need to find a torrent. I mean, I don't illegally download anything. But oh my, wait, the spider's actually making a little trail the car's a bit fogged up and it's making a little trail.
Oh, it's very cute.
That's adorable.
So many subjects. You simply are just talking about them all.
I am indeed talking about them all. Did you have anything?
I do actually have something to say. And you reminded me earlier talking about that skeleton.
Yes.
And something that skeletons lack. Now, if you are a skeleton, I'm sure that you must have issues.
With?
A lack of skin. Now, hear me out.
Oh, is that an issue, though?
No, we all enjoy seeing, do we not? Do you enjoy seeing?
Okay, overall, yeah, I wear glasses, so I definitely enjoy sight, because I took it for granted for a bit.
Now, sight can be something we take for granted, and do you ever you're just sitting there, I know you wear glasses, but I'm sure sometimes your eyes, they start hurting, maybe they're a bit dry.
Oh, yeah, sometimes they get a bit dry.
Now, do I have a product for you?
Oh!
Our second sponsor. That's right. Not one, but two sponsors.
Because we are a legitimate podcast.
By our second episode. This sponsor, Blinking. Now, have you heard of Blinking?
No, I actually haven't. Tell me all about
Blinking is more of a service than a product. It's a course, and they will train you in ways. Now, you have pieces of skin around your eye, unless, of course, you're Franklin.
Unless you're Franklin, which
doesn't have the skin.
I have the skin.
And you can use these pieces of skin in order to moisturize your eyes.
Oh.
Have you ever been sitting there, maybe looking at art, watching a movie, and your eyes get sore?
No, I've never seen a movie.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. But yes.
And your eyes get sore, and you're trying to watch this movie, look at this art, but you simply can't. Now, Blinking, you simply blink, and you can continue staring at anything, apart from the sun. But I have heard that the creators of Blinking may be working on a new product called Squinting.
Squinting?
It's still in beta testing, but it might even let you look at the sun.
Look at the sun?
Phenomenal.
For forever, or...? Because you can look at the sun right now without blink, or, just regularly. Yeah. So it's just is it forever or just an extended period of time?
An extended period of time. Let's say you wanted to,
looking.
See how big the sun is. How big is the sun? I don't know. I've never looked at it.
Oh,
But if I had this product, I could look at it.
You could look at it?
So
anyway, it's still in beta testing.
Sponsor, Blinking.
Blinking,
Go to www. I'm not going to say blinking.com because I haven't been to that and it could be a porn site. Who knows?
Who knows?
I'm sure they have a website. If you just Google Blinking.
If you Google Blinking.
It'll probably be the first thing that comes up.
Probably be the first thing.
Use promo code BITMOVIES.
BITMOVIES.
And get your first blink absolutely free.
That is BITMOVIES.
IES, indeed.
And get your first blink free, was it?
Free.
That's a
free
steal.
Blink. Yeah.
For one free blink. I would. Is the plural of blink blinked or blunk?
I blunk.
You blunk? Because I don't think I've ever blunked in my entire life. I should take this course. I need to. I think I need to take this course.
I think you should.
I think I should because my eyes get tired. I get sore, and I do things with my eyes, and I'd like to blink. I'd like to moisturize them. So I think I would definitely like to do that, and yeah. Well, I've had always to finish it off on the blink blunk spectrum. Me and my friend always discussed words like fitted. We didn't like fitted. Like
fitted. It's too hard.
Like the shoe fitted. The shoe fitted is grammatically correct, right? It is correct. The shoe fat.
The shoe fat
sounds so much better. Good. The shoe fat.
Not say I got a fitted jacket. I got a fat jacket.
I got a fat PHAT fat jacket,
fat
but also
jacket.
The jacket fat.
I'm gonna go take a fitted shit.
I'm gonna go put on my fat sheet.
We should probably end this podcast because this spider is getting awfully close to somewhere where it can hide.
Yeah, he's getting very antsy.
Actually, I can no longer see the spider.
Really?
So.
I can see it's right there.
Okay, good.
I can see it because I wear glasses.
Oh, I thought he went all the way down.
No. He's back up. But I just want to point out on the last episode we said like I'm Lachlan and I'm Isaac. There's a bit movies. I hate that. I did it as a bit because it was like our first podcast, and it's like I wanted to pay out the people who do that.
This podcast is kind of a satire of podcasts.
It is a bit of a satire of podcasts, but we love it.
We are not making this podcast because we want to make a podcast. Well, we are.
We are.
But
that is entirely why I'm making this podcast.
Wait. Let me think about these words better. This podcast. I can't think of the words.
I'm gonna have to probably tweet this audio when I get back in. We're talking right at the phone. This is being recorded on a phone again. So I'm going to tweet it. But yeah, what words? We're not doing this podcast to promote any.
We're just doing it for fun. I feel like making a podcast, so we're making a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Which I feel like happens a lot. But like, the only theme we have is a bit about movies. It's nothing like like a conspiracy theory podcast or serial. Like it doesn't have.
This is not a serious podcast.
This is not. If you couldn't tell by the first 20 seconds of the first episode, this is not a serious podcast.
This is simply a podcast because. Are you enjoying this? I certainly am enjoying this.
I'm really, like, genuinely.
Yeah.
This is one of the funnest things I've done in a very long time. And I've always wanted to make a podcast. And the reason I stopped my other podcast was I was putting on a front and I was putting on a character that wasn't me because I was trying to make a podcast to make a podcast. I wasn't making a podcast.
We aren't making a podcast to make a podcast.
We're making a podcast because we are enjoying it and having fun and we'll love to create. And so the other podcast, I wanted to make a podcast and I did want to create, but I just couldn't create at the time. And so I was in the end, I was making a podcast to make a podcast. I didn't have a direction and I didn't like it, so I stopped it. And I would love to bring that one back up again, revamp it, maybe have an actual theme to give it something to do. But this one is just, it's a podcast because we decided the rapport is very good.
Now, here is a secret sponsor that you didn't know about.
Oh.
Making Things.
Making
I would
Things.
like to be a spokesperson for Making Things.
You want to be a spokesperson?
Yes, Making Things contacted me recently and they said, hi, we are the CEO of Making Things and we would like to give you some money in order to promote Making Things. So I would like to promote Making Things.
Making Things.
Just fucking do it.
Just fucking do it.
If you enjoy it, don't care about what other people think. Like, starting a podcast, kind of cringe, not gonna lie.
Oh, because we're two white guys?
Yeah, no one needs this podcast.
No one needs this podcast. There was that it was a tweet we both saw. It was saying, during the pandemic, don't make a podcast, especially if you're you're a male in your 30s. We're not in our 30s.
We're not in our 30s.
So we're one part there. We are male. I think it also specified white. And we are white. We have nothing to contribute.
No, we don't. But guess what? Make things for yourself.
Make
not
things
for others.
exactly. I think this is going to be a genuine, very serious moment. David Harbour, who plays Hopper on Stranger Things, said it very well. Somebody asked him. Somebody I follow on Instagram actually, like how did they get into this kind of stuff? Like, what's some advice you have for young filmmakers and everything? And he said, don't do it to make this. Do not do it to make this because you'll let yourself down. Do it because you enjoy it. And whether you create just, little films for your friends in your basement, you will make something that you are proud of and you enjoy. And that is everything I want to do. I want to be an actor and I want to make things that I enjoy. And that was one of the reasons I didn't really like school or when I went to uni. I was forced to do a lot of things that I had no interest in, and that took away all the joy in it. They were like, and one of the reasons I didn't want to go to uni was they go, oh, hey, you didn't do this the right way, pay another 10 grand to do the course or whatever. I would rather try and fail, but create something that I really enjoyed and keep striving than not do that. Then somebody tell me what to do. And in the other spectrum, that is, I struggle to create with other people in terms of like directorial stuff. If it's somebody else's project, I can do whatever the hell they want. But if it's my project and somebody wants to work with me with it, I do struggle there, and I do need to learn how to work with other people in that sense and let my creative ideas be influenced by others and have both. And I think that's why I'm shocked it's worked very well with you. Like I'm letting myself, but also I haven't felt the need to go, like, I haven't felt like annoyed at you for having input, because sometimes it's an irrational thing. I've had friends and they'll give input like, what about this? And I go, shut up.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
not my
thing.
vision.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely get that as well.
Definitely, but during this whole thing, I know we've only done 2 episodes, but you have pitched things, and not once have I been like, no,
That's
this is
not
my
what
thing.
I want.
Because I went into this already thinking this is our thing, and it's worked so well, and I really I really appreciate you working with me on this and like
Oh,
genuinely
very lovely.
giving me a chance to have a creative output. So thank you for that. And it's an opportunity to work with somebody and share my ideas and let it be shared and have other input. So thank you very much for that.
Wow.
But so back to making things.
Making things?
Oh, just yeah, like do things because you want to. Like people have been like, oh, don't cut bangs during quarantine. Who gives a shit?
Do whatever
do
you
whatever.
want.
As long as you're not.
Bangs,
Yeah,
I support your mullets.
I support your mullets as long as you're not hurting anybody else and you're not hurting yourself.
Just have fun.
Have fun.
I love seeing people having fun doing things they enjoy.
Actually, I have a very good quote for this. I'm very infamous for my quotes among many people. A lot of shit quotes, a lot of stupid quotes, but I actually do have a normal quotes, like of inspiring quotes. And there's this one that I very much love, and it is really good.
He's looking for it now in his notes.
Because I have so many of these quotes.
Update on the spider. It made a little bit of a web.
It's a bit
but
up.
It's just vibing now.
It is just vibing. And
his quote is, wow, you do have a large collection of quotes.
Oh, this is barely any. Well, this is the regular quotes. It's all in one note. I have multiple different notes of the bad quotes. Well, I love them. Everyone else hates them. But here it is. In fact, not a shred of evidence exists in favor of the argument that life is serious, though it is often hard and even terrible. And saying that, I am prompted to add what follows out of it, that since everything ends badly for us in the inescapable catastrophe of death, it seems obvious that the first rule of life is to have a good time, and that the second rule of life is to hurt as few people as possible in the course of doing so. There is no third rule. Brendan Gill. And I love that quote so much.
Wonderful quote.
It's a very lovely
On that
quote.
note, this is Bit Movies, and we don't have an outro.
Yeah, goodbye.